Excited to now welcome partner and president of hockey operations for the Guelph Storm, Scott Walker. Scott, how you doing today?
Great. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining us. So last week, the announcement was made that Guelph and Kitchener were selected as the two clubs to bid to host the 2027 Memorial Cup presented by Kubota. So congratulations. Um, with the new format, you made your intention to bid, then you had to wait. What was it like waiting to hear if the selection committee chose you as one of the two finalists to make a formal bid?
Well, it's always exciting and nerve-wracking waiting, but we felt like we put our best foot forward with the cooperation of the city, who's been tremendous with us. This partnership with them and working towards putting the bid together.
How much easier does it make it for you when the city gets behind you the way it has?
Well, we've had a great partnership with them ever since, I've been around and with the new ownership with Joel Feldberg and Jeff Bly and myself, they've been great to work with and really excited about this process. And obviously with the help of Matt Newby and our office, it's just been perfect. It's been excellent working with them. And obviously, exciting part is with the 200th year anniversary for Guelph. I think the city was founded like 200 steps from our front door at the Sleeman Center. So it'd be a great event and a great chance to showcase first of all the great city of Guelph and the great fans we have.
The timing does line up perfectly for you guys with that. But you've been part of the organization for about 15 years now. Why was now the right time to enter that bid process?
Well, I think we've had our eye on the ball because of the 200th year anniversary. So we've known that, could we bid on it at the same time as this in conjunction with that and build our team around this with the draft inventory we have, the picks we have, the team we've built. I think it's worked perfectly. You know, it's, uh, it's tough. There's lots of teams, lots of new buildings. You want to make sure you're in the right spot and where your team is, but also means a lot to the city and the people of Guelph and our fans and our whole team, our staff, the fans, and the city. No one's going to put a better foot forward than we are, and that's all we ask of ourselves and our teammates and all the players and people around. If we put our best foot forward and see where it goes.
Well, it's been 23 years since Guelph last hosted. You guys had close calls recently in 14 and 19. Uh, Great fan base, like you mentioned in Guelph. How have they reacted to the news that you guys are one of the finalists that you're going to get to make that bid and have that chance to host?
Well, I think they're very excited. It's a passionate fan base. It's one of the best. I think in the last couple of years we've been capacity wise one of the best in the CHL. Percentage of filled building every night, and that just shows you the work that the staff is doing off the ice, and the fans are very very passionate in Guelph. So I think there's a little bit of a buzz and hopeful that we can pull through here. But obviously, we're up against a good organization.
Well, between yourself, GM George Burnett, and head coach Corey Stillman, you guys have a ton of experience to go around. You guys are building a roster to compete this year as well as preparing for next year. So, what do you guys kind of foresee as the biggest challenge as you try to navigate the winning this year and next?
Well, obviously, you wait to see where the bid comes in and where you're at. But ultimately, with all the new rules, I think there's not many teams that are in the better position than we are. Mostly with the drafting inventory for sure, but also the way our team is built. With teams losing 18 and 19-year-olds now going forward, you have to be real careful. And I think with our '09 group as deep as it is, our '08 group is very, very deep, and our '07 obviously have a lot planned and built from our defense and goaltending out. So, like you said, Corey Stillman, two-time Stanley Cup champion. We're happy to have him back behind the bench, and obviously with his connections and the people that we have come around the building, it's one of the best buildings with all the scouts that we know and friends that we know. It's probably one of their favorite buildings to come to. It's not the biggest, but it's probably one of the best laid out for junior hockey. And obviously having George around, George has been around since I played and Corey played as a GM and coach. So we really lean on him for a lot of experience and how building teams and making those trades at the right time. And I think with the experience of past experiences like us. I was the head coach and part owner when we went to London, which was a great experience. I was just the part owner and helping on the hockey ops side when we went to Halifax. Two different teams, one built through the draft, one built through trading wise. So we've done it both ways. I think we know how to build a winning team, and we'll be ready. But like I said, it's a unique opportunity with the group we have, but also where the arena is. It's not too often that in junior hockey that they're built right downtown, right in the main street, and it's just. It'd be awesome to be able to showcase what Guelph has to offer and what the surrounding areas. It's just a great little area to be involved in.
Well, like you mentioned, deep at the eights, the nines, the sevens, the guys that'll be there. What was their reaction when they heard the news, and how much of some of the older guys kind of, I know nothing's set in stone yet, but how much are they looking forward to help guide those guys and kind of lead them into a successful year next year as well?
Well, they're all really excited. They all want to be a part of it, and the players from past are really being involved and trying to uh, help in any way they can. The amazing part of junior hockey is the amount of calls we get from people that have played or been involved with the organization, lending a hand, and we've really been a team that tries to push our players onto the next level, but also our staff. We've had a tremendous amount of our staff move on to the AHL, NHL, East Coast, all over, and amazing how many of them have called and reached out and offered to lend a hand and what could they do and what do we need. So for ex-players calling and giving their support, it's amazing because, I think there's a certain party that says, why couldn't they have done that when I was there? But I think this is just a exciting time to be a Storm member, past and present and future. So we're really excited. Like I said, we are all hands on deck. Everybody's working hard. I know behind the scenes, as you know, there's many, many, many people involved, and the city has been tremendous to work with, and same with all the restaurants and venues and people downtown have been tremendous.
That's awesome to hear. Like you mentioned, there's been some rule changes. One of the major rule changes that has obviously been affecting rosters is the NCAA rule change. You guys have benefited from it, Kitchener as well, including many other organizations across the CHL. But how has that kind of changed or affected the way you guys kind of look to choose players, recruit players to your roster as you're building?
Well, without getting into all the details of what we do, and what we do, definitely look at it, going forward. Who's going to be around? Is this going to be a 17 and 18-year-old Memorial Cup teams, or is it going to be 19 and 20-year-old teams like it has been in the past? Real heavy 19-year-old teams tend to be the ones that push for the Memorial Cup. But now with the rule changes, and I think getting the Memorial Cup would help you recruit some players that maybe would be deciding whether to go to NCAA or not, and then also with the possibility of losing 19-year-olds to the AHL next year. There's a lot of things you have to manage, and fortunate for us, we have a great staff, and we are all, like I said, looking for the future, but also dealing with the present.
Right. So how much more important does it make, I guess, this season then for the players, the staff to get all the playoff experience possible, playoff experience, international experience, if they can get that as well, to be able to have that success next year? Because we hear it all the time how much experience helps when you get into those big game situations.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably a little bit more pro than junior. I'm not sure junior hockey, it's such a short career. The window of opportunity experience is One thing you can maybe add it through trading, but it's very, very, last time we went to the finals, we finished second last the year before we went to the Memorial Cup. And so we won the OHL championship from second last to winning it all. So experience is a little bit different in junior because there's such turnover. There's very few times where you have the teams of the past like Kamloops and obviously Ottawa and London have done it where they've been back to back. It's just really hard to do now
Right.
with the turnover in junior hockey, and I imagine going forward even harder. But obviously, our goal is to get better, better every week here in Guelph this year, and we have a really good structure in place with our coaching staff. Our turnover from players this year hasn't been a ton, especially on the defense and goaltending side, and I think that's where championships are built from the net out, and we're hoping to build on that for sure.
So time is of the essence here for you guys. The bid process, like we find out early December. So what are kind of the next steps that you and the organization have to take as you try to separate yourselves from Kitchener?
Well, we're just getting the formal bid ready for the presentation, the in-person visit, and our office staff in conjunction with the city and the supporting partners have been tremendous. Our sponsorship and our season ticket holders have been great. So I'm sure they're going to put their best foot forward. And like I said, we have weekly and seems like daily meetings and emails going around of what's next, but. The rink is in a great spot. Would we like some upgrades? Yeah, I think we have a chance to add almost 500 or so more seats, and we're looking at doing that. And obviously, there's been lots of talk about things we have. We put the ring around since the new ownership has come in. We put the new live banner around and looking at jumbotron. So there's lots of things exciting, but I think the arena speaks for itself. I don't know if you'd meet an NHL scout or NHL personality doesn't love coming to our rink compared to probably 90% of them in the OHL.
Well, your first game against your closest geographical rival, Kitchener, is on October 14th in Kitchener. You guys are going to have 3 or 4 games before we find out who will host the 2027 Memorial Cup presented by Kubota. I know on the ice it's not going to change anything, but what's it going to be like off the ice? How are that rivalry going to intensify as we go through this process here? How do you see this playing out?
Well, I think it'll be a real city and fan base driven rivalry. I mean, I'm personally know a lot of the people involved with the Kitchener Rangers and extremely good friends, and I know they run a good organization there, and like we have, and we've all been champions in our league, and I think we have the most recent championships as of late, and we take great pride in that. But like I said, they do a great job, and I just know that the city of Guelph, the fans of Guelph, our sponsorship in the city, and our staff in Guelph, there's nobody working harder, and no one's going to put a better foot forward than we are, and that's all we can ask of our people and the fans and the sponsors in the city, and let's see where it goes. But we're really hopeful, and we think we got a great opportunity to showcase a great city and the league in Guelph. That's for sure.
Awesome. Thank you so much for giving me some time today, Scott. Good luck in the bid process, and hopefully we'll see you in 2027.
Okay, thank you very much.